Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Mindgasms. Doing another movie chat today with Chris James, my favorite cable guy, and Dusty, my favorite security guard, and and former video game designer. And yeah, so as usual, we're going to talk about an awesome movie. We're talking about the deep, profound, philosophical, intellectual movie called John Wick today. Where, as you can see, basically the plot is that criminals kill the boogeyman assassin's dog after he is retired and got married, and his wife died from cancer, and she gave him a dog as a reminder of her so that he would have a companion after she dies when she knew that she was going to die. And the son of the leader of the local Russian mob kills his dog so he can steal his car. So then basically that means John Wick must kill the entire Russian mob. So the message of the movie is don't fuck with John Wick, kids. So yeah, as we usually do, let's start off with you, Chris. What do you think of the movie overall?
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I thought that the action and the gun scenes are obviously what do it for me. And Keanu Reeves, I've always liked Keanu. Who doesn't like Keanu Reeves? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's like one of those odd guys that I've never met somebody that's like fuck Keanu Reeves. He sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a thick huge plot. It's really simple. Dog dies, he goes, kills a bunch of people. It's kind of funny that the son is played by the same guy. He's like the similar character, like the one he plays in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
His name escapes me right now. Thank you.
Yeah, Greyjoy.
Very similar, kind of character. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's one of those movies that you can kind of just throw on late at night, smoke a bowl, and just kind of chill out and relax too. It's you know what I mean. It's just like it's a movie that kind of carries you along. It's not something you have to really think about. You know what I mean? It's just a typical action movie, and yeah, I thought Keanu did a really good job. Especially for he's not really known as an action star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's more like the Bill and Ted's guy.
He really did a good job of like flipping his career to action star with the Matrix movies and then now the John Wick movies.
Yeah,
I think what started that trajectory was Speed.
Yeah, I was just thinking that actually. Yeah, wasn't that his first like serious and not like Bill and Ted style role?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if it was that or Point Break. I'm not sure which came first.
Oh yeah, maybe Point Break was first.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and all those movies though, he's not really like Speed. He's a cop. Obviously, Point Break. I know he's a bad guy, but he doesn't like. John Wick is like the first one where he's an actual killer and he's like you know actually assassinating and taking out people violently.
Yeah, he's still like he's even in the Matrix movies. He's a good guy for sure.
Yeah, exactly, and yeah, he's more like he's Neo. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, overall, I liked it. Yeah.
Cool. So what about you, Dusty?
Yeah, I really do enjoy the violence man genre of movies.
Me too.
And he's definitely the pinnacle of violence men in this one. Fight choreography is excellent. It definitely is the evolution of the gun fu or gun kata kind of it's an evolution in such that it's more realistic. There's no wires or anything like that. And the things that he does in the movie seem much more practical than what you would see in Equilibrium or some John Woo movies.
Like come into a room like this. I'm going to fire my guns like this and like this and like this.
Yes. So, plot-wise, yeah, it's not very thick with plots. It's pretty simple.
It's
You
a
have
spectacle.
him, yeah, you have him going back to the life that he abandoned, and it's his former employer that he's going up against. So, and he's trying to take out the person that caused him pain. And it does kind of plot out because right when you see him get his dog killed, you're like, what? He's getting this crazy over, he's like killing all these people because a dog got killed. But then you're kind of realizing how important that dog is when they kind of slowly reveal the plot revolving around the dog itself and what that meant to him. But yeah, it's a good movie. I was thoroughly entertained. I really like the atmosphere and how they set up this crazy assassins guild. Some very great actors. Like I like the guy that leads the guild. He's awesome in
Odin.
whatever he does.
He's the
Yeah,
guy from The
Odin.
Wire, right?
Mm-hmm. And he's
No,
Odin
I
in
don't know if he's in The
Gods.
Wire. He's in Odin and American Gods, and I know he was and some other HBO show where it's like a western and a lot of cussing. I don't remember the name of the show, but
Oh yeah, I don't remember what
he's a
that's
great
called.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great in whatever he does. But yeah, I really enjoyed the film. I guess the only thing that I didn't think that was up to par is that the last boss fight wasn't really that great.
Yeah, that's true. Because, like, how could that guy realistically have any chance in a knife fight with John Wick, even though John Wick is injured already?
Well, he didn't. Like it was like the
Exactly.
best guy he fought was the guy that knew karate moves. And he was
Yeah.
around for a while, but he was probably his biggest like nemesis.
Yeah.
Like old Russian mob boss, he wasn't really good at fighting. And
Yeah.
we could see by the end of the movie, he kind of resigned himself to his fate when he was just kind of cackling in the back seat while
Yeah,
all of
he's
his
just like,
dudes were getting like murdered.
yeah, they're just like panicking. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna chill and have a cigarette and a drink.
Yeah, because he knew he was going to die. So I think he was just like, yeah, I can't believe it. I knew I wasn't going to get away with this shit. That's what I get.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it's funny too because like there are a few interesting things, like one of which you mentioned, like this whole Assassins Guild and how people live by this code where there's this organization and there are all these rules and there's like an assassin hotel and there's an assassin body disposal service and all this cool stuff that gets into the more enhanced world building in the sequels. And there's also this whole thing about how it's kind of like the cost of honor a little bit with both John Wick and the guy whose son kills his dog, because John Wick is like, I have to kill this guy now because he killed my dog. And then the Russian mob guy is like, fuck, I know this is a terrible idea, but I have to kill John Wick because he's killing my son, even though my son did some fucking dumb shit.
By the way, I haven't seen number 3, so try not.
Okay.
Me neither.
I won't give
Yeah.
spoilers. I'm sure we'll talk
Okay.
about both of those in the future too.
Yeah, I've seen up to 2. I
Yeah, me
haven't
too.
seen 3 yet either.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Just like the second one, I would say, with each successive one, there's more and more violence.
Nothing but headshots.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a part in the third one where he kills like 6. He gets like 6 headshots in a row with a shotgun on 6 bad guys.
What the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nothing but headshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a part.
So I think I lagged a little bit there.
I think Andrew can hear us.
Yeah, I just accidentally opened another tab and had an echo of the chat there.
It did freeze it over here. Anyway.
Everything, you guys can hear and see me okay now?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what do you guys think about that? About like the Assassin's Guild thing, and about the whole thing that they're kind of like killing each other, and they're on this mission that's kind of like dumb if you look at it pragmatically, all for honor stuff and stuff like that.
I want to know how much those gold coins are worth, because
Yeah.
there's like the crew, the dead body crew, whatever, the old guy with the top hat.
Yeah.
He cleans up the whole entire fucking house, and then he flips him 1 coin.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, is that worth $1 million or something?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I wonder if it's like a coin is worth 1 action, or like you can rent a car for 1 gold coin, or you can stay at the hotel for 1 gold coin, or I don't remember. Do you guys remember how much it cost him to stay at the hotel?
No, but I think there's a scene where he has a stack of gold coins and he gives it to somebody, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just I thought that was funny when the old guy cleaned up the whole entire house and then he flipped him the 1 gold coin after.
Yeah.
It's like
that was cool. That was cool before that too. When the cop shows up at the door, and
yeah,
obviously you only experience this the first time you watch the movie, but you get the sense like, oh shit, there's a cop there, now what's he gonna do? And the cop's like, oh hey John, you working again? Yeah, I'm not sure, just dealing with a few things. Okay, yeah, I totally know that you just killed those people, so just try to not be too disruptive. I got you covered. See you later.
Well, the cop must be somehow connected to that world if he's just gonna look a blind eye.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like John Leguizamo, and when he hit, I was like, yes, I was glad he punched Theon Greyjoy for stealing John Wick's car.
Yeah,
and it's funny because in the beginning of the movie, like everyone's like, "Oh fuck, John Wick! Oh shit!" But we're like, "Okay." The first time you watch this, you're like, "Yeah, okay." Everyone's scared of him, but you don't get to see him in action till he's attacked, right?
Yeah, and the first time he's attacked, he kills like, what is it, a dozen people or so, maybe more.
Yeah, a bunch.
Yeah.
They fill up the whole van with bodies or something, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. And and you see how fucking ruthless he is too, especially like in that like club scene where he goes and is like killing those people in the bathhouse and in the club. And I remember there's a part, and I'm sure it's not the only part, where he's stabbing this guy in the throat and he's looking into his eyes with his like fucking serial killer look as he stabs him.
Wasn't that one of Theon Greyjoy's lackeys? He tried to
that's right.
He tried to step up hard on him. Like you do know who this is. Like, don't be a dumbass and
these people
think you're gonna do anything.
These people in this movie are so dumb. They like see him kill 6 guys and they're like, I can kill him.
Yeah, you knew that guy was gonna die at some point. Those guys always die.
Yeah.
Like the right hand man of the son, of the mob son. You're definitely you're not lasting the length of the movie for sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
And the mob son was just so stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
He was such a
ridiculously
spoiled
dumb.
brat.
Yeah, neck tattoo guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Theon Greyjoy,
Yeah.
Alfie Allen. And then we got to talk about like the internal things that happen too, because the mob boss takes a contract out on John,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have all of the, like, not all of the assassins. Well, part two is where it gets
Yeah.
crazy with all the assassins, but
Mhm.
in this one, there's the couple that betray him.
The female
And
that he meets at the like club or whatever, or not
yeah,
that he meets, that he knows obviously from working there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you know, she attacks him,
Yeah.
and then he beats her, and he has a friend watch her, but she gets away, kills the friend,
Mm-hmm.
and then Odin does a very theatric execution. That's like my favorite scene in the movie. I rewound it like 5 times.
And then when she gets shot in the head by like 10 guys.
Well, okay, so Odin like meets up with her, and he's like, "Oh, your membership is revoked." And you know the way he does his acting, he always does like that tone change mid sentence. So he comes out all casually, and he's like, "Revoked."
Yep.
And then like 4 dudes in trench coats walk casually. They all pull out pistols at the same time, shoot her, and then nonchalantly turn around 180 degrees and just like walk away.
Yep.
It's like so staged and theatrical. Like, man, that is an awesome choreography there for your execution.
Definitely. I would be there to tell you when you're about to die. Then
Yeah, and he
you
didn't.
die,
He just
we all
walked
walk
away.
The guy comes to get rid of the body.
Yeah, he's walking away, and he didn't even see her die
Yeah.
while they were shooting her. And I was surprised, like they're shooting her like from 4 directions, like all headshots,
Yeah.
all at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, I was like, yeah, that's probably the a little more awesomer parts of the movie,
Definitely.
even though it's just getting executed. And then the stupid douche playing video games, and he gets shot. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, turn that shit down. And he gets fucking shot in the head. It's like, okay. Freaking Theon Greyjoy.
Yeah. Can't fuck with the boogie, man.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I like I guess if I had to choose, I think maybe my favorite scene would be the whole thing at where he does the assault on the club and kills like everyone basically.
Yeah, that's definitely a good scene.
Yeah.
But I don't get the mob boss guy at times. He knows his son is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just let him get killed? Like, he already agreed to it, and then he ends up trying to double cross him again. I just don't get the whole double cross part.
Yeah. It's like I was talking about earlier, like both, like him in particular, he's just, it's like the downfall.
Could be an honor culture thing.
Yeah,
though,
the downfall of honor and loyalty. Like you can have those to a fault, really. It's like,
I think one of the reasons too is because in the criminal world, he is seen as weak by having his son killed and not having retaliated. that probably would have weakened his, I guess, criminal underworld cred in some way.
Yeah.
It's also his son too. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's such a fuck up, though.
I know.
Yeah, for sure. But he works for the boss, right? And like, I don't know. He obviously wasn't that much of a fuck up to the boss to have. I know he was working for him because it's his son, but like to just feed him to John Wick, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, John Wick destroyed his whole organization.
Yeah.
So,
No, I know.
well,
And he mentions earlier on in the movie that John Wick helped him build up the whole organization in the first place, right?
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, "Yep, I'm killing everyone, bitch."
Yeah. How many men do you have? I need them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even all of them isn't enough.
Yeah, one thing we didn't talk about too is John Wick actually has a friend in the movie, right?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, that's right.
Who he takes
Willem
the contract
Dafoe,
master of what?
Exaggerated facial expressions.
Yes. Is that what you were about to say, Chris? Green Goblin?
Yeah, Green Goblin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite role of his. He's the best Spider-Man villain in all the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, he was the scariest for sure.
Definitely.
He
was like really convincingly kind of like supernaturally psychotic.
Yeah. And what was his son? His son was James Franco. Is
that
right? Yeah. I don't know.
James Franco's the son?
Yeah.
And Spider-Man, yeah. And he's
I didn't know that. Oh, in the movie. I thought you meant like in real life.
No, not in real life.
Yeah, we jumped to Spider-Man real quick, but if James Franco doesn't come off as a really good villain there, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. And Willem Dafoe is such a good actor that he's a convincing good guy in this one too.
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought he was the bad guy at first. Obviously,
he did. We did kind of get the impression that he was just gonna betray John Wick anyway, but then he ended up helping him instead, right? And then he does it at the cost of his life and gets killed for it by Odin, as we see, right? It wasn't Odin. It was the mob boss. The mob boss kills.
Yeah, the mob boss. So the one traitor chick brings him in, right? Or because the traitor chick is there, and he is there at that house,
and
he gets pretty messed up there, and I guess he leaves John Wick a clue or something, and John shows up and he's dead already.
Yeah.
Well, he was like an old assassin buddy, I guess, who had John's back.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of that kind of goes back to how one of the major themes, as we were talking about, is honor culture and loyalty, and how it can have pros and cons. Like the mob boss, he basically destroys his entire empire and ends up with both him and his son dead over loyalty. But then because of their loyalty to each other, Willem Dafoe and John Wick, that's how John Wick ends up getting saved by Willem Dafoe. And then also John Wick spares the lives of a few people. I think the only one I can think of right off the bat is that security guard at the entrance to the club, whose life he spares, and he lets him go because he knows him from before. So that's like a benefit of loyalty, obviously, right? Because he would have killed him otherwise.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'll let you do your thing, and I'll get out of here.
Mhm.
But oh, the guy that was at the counter of the hotel, that was the guy from Spartacus, right?
Is it the
Peter-
Spartacus guy?
I think that's Peter Mensa, is it?
Oh, I thought it was a different guy.
No, I think that's
No,
a Spartacus.
I know that guy at the hotel desk. He's like one of those mysterious side characters on Lost.
Is it Peter Mensa or somebody else? It's either,
Remember?
I believe it is. I can find out. IMDb it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do here too.
I thought it was him. I was sure it was him.
That's
Peter
the name
Mensa.
of the like trainer guy on Spartacus.
Well, the actor's name is Peter Mensa.
Peter Mensa. Okay.
Yeah. But I could be wrong. I thought it was him.
Okay. Let me see.
Let's see.
Where's the cast?
No, it's
here?
Lance Reddick. It's the guy from The Wire. I always get them mixed up.
Oh, okay. You get
I
those.
always get
you
Peter
those
Mensa
darkies
and Lance Reddick mixed up. Yeah.
You,
Lance
the
Reddick
black guy,
is
get all those darkies mixed up.
No, it's because they look very similar. Lance Reddick and Peter Mensa look similar, and I think Lance Reddick in this had a British accent,
Yeah, yeah.
but he's not. He's not British. So Peter Mensa has a British accent, so that's probably why I got them confused.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Spartacus is an awesome show.
But the muscle car is quite nice.
Yes,
I
definitely.
guess this car is what got his dog killed.
Yep. It is a nice car, definitely.
Yeah, and nice.
Wasn't that
everything's nice with him. He's got a super nice like Ferris Bueller type home and like
Yeah, Ferris Bueller type home. Yeah,
nice clothes and it's like yeah.
It's cool that there's that trope that's totally obvious in this movie. That's in tons of movies about killers where they dress up in suits to go and get in fights and kill each other, which is totally not practical at all.
Yeah, for sure, eh?
Yeah.
Well, they want them to dress flashy,
Yeah.
It's not the same where they're just wearing like an Arnold Schwarzenegger shirt and like t-shirt and jeans.
Even though that would be way more practical.
Yeah. But
like I wonder if actual contract killers in real life actually go around killing people in suits.
I
They
doubt
probably
it.
wear like some sort of tactical gear or something like that.
Yeah, they're probably either. I don't think at any time they're wearing suits unless whatever they had to do called for a suit. Like if they're trying to assassinate someone at a wedding or a graduation or something. I don't know. I think they would probably dress according to the situation.
Yeah, they're gonna. I would imagine they're gonna try to make it so they don't that they blend in. They probably just wear normal clothes like actual assassins.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because that's kind of a trope across all TV. Because I think I was watching Mr. Robot, and there's kind of like this like hitman-ish type of guy there too, who's like a used car salesman, and he wears a suit. But the suits he wears are like used car salesman suits.
Right.
So they're not like the super stylish black suits. They're more like the light gray and tan types of suits that might have some questionable pinstripes and things of that nature.
Although I think the guys that killed Khashoggi, weren't they wearing suits when they were walking in the embassy?
Were they?
Well, you would know, didn't you watch the documentary?
I did watch the documentary. I'm pretty sure they wore suits and stuff like that. to like blend into the cameras or.
Oh wow, that's interesting because I just see that as like this badass movie thing. Like, let's look cool while we kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's wear suits. Well, I think another reason why they wear suits too is to hide the guns. It just makes it easier to hide a gun with a suit jacket on.
That's true.
Yeah, because I know when I was doing security, when I had to wear a suit, yeah, of course it's impractical. I don't know why they had us wearing suits, but we had to wear suits. And this was when I was doing security at nightclubs and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I get that. I get if you're like at a fancy nightclub like the one in the movie, I could see how they want a bouncer or a security guard to wear a suit. Yeah.
Trench coat.
Yeah, I was thinking
trench coats were like the assassin kind of attire, and
that makes me think of the Matrix too.
Yeah,
they even had shotguns in there. That's why.
Yeah, and like AK-47s apparently.
Yeah,
but then there was wasn't there a mass shooting with a trench coat mafia?
Columbine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was Columbine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the trench coat kind of became a symbol of,
the mass shooter.
Did they have anything to do with the Matrix?
No, like the Matrix came later, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Matrix was in '99, right?
Was it?
Yeah,
I think so. I think the shooting was the same year. It was the same year as the Matrix. Okay. I don't know if it came before or after.
Matrix
but
is kind
I think
of
there may have been.
So it might not have been that popular the first year it came out. I don't know.
I think it may have been I think it might have been an influence.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up because it's gonna bug me.
Yeah,
so the Matrix came out March 31st.
Yes, okay. So I am reading, and yes, they were inspired, but the look they were inspired by Neo.
Oh wow. Okay.
They said that they were obsessed.
Michael Moore doesn't mention that in Bowling for Columbine.
Maybe he's friends with Keanu Reeves. Who knows?
That's
because it happened a month after Matrix was released in March, and the shooting, the Columbine shooting, was on April 20th. So it was like almost like
shooting was on 4/20. Jeez, what a terrible day.
Yeah, it is a terrible day. It's actually my birthday, so I hear about this every year because it's also Hitler's birthday. Man. There's a whole bunch of shit that's aligned with 4/20 in history that is, not good. Yeah, but it's International Smoking Weed Day, so that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
Actually, I might not be right. I think I just read a wrong paragraph.
Oh, okay.
But like this year, the Chauvin trial ended on that date. It's always like a weird date.
Did it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I just saw this random person make this joke on Twitter. What do you call it when Batman skips church? Christian Bale.
So dumb. That is a dad joke to the 10th degree.
Definite dad joke.
Christian Bale.
That's funny. Oh man. I just wanted to say that because I just randomly saw that and I thought that was hilarious.
Okay, so Odin is played by Ian McShane.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Did you spot Tate Fletcher?
Yeah. I forgot they did. I was wondering if you guys knew about that when he like beats the fuck out of him and then slams his head on a table. Doesn't he grab him by the beard and slam his head on the table?
Oh, is that?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Tate Fletcher, is that the guy that's like the mob boss's right-hand man or whatever? The main Old guy?
No, the guy that his right hand man is the guy from Oz. The
Yeah, and
Irish
he's in
dude
some
from Oz.
shitty. He's also in some shitty commercial now too. It's like Progressive Insurance or some shit.
I've seen him in smaller roles in a lot of TV shows and movies, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Tate Fletcher, though, I've seen him
He
on
always
Joe
plays a
Rogan's
henchman.
podcast.
He always plays a henchman, and he always gets killed. It seems like.
Yeah. He's kind of like he's a stuntman and an actor, right? And he's this giant jack guy with a big pirate beard.
Yeah, he has a shaved head, a stylized mustache, and a pretty big beard.
Yeah.
But he's always. I saw him in that. I saw him. Oh crap! What's going on here? Stop it, IMDb. Stop it. I saw him in some other movie too, where he played like a crazy person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've only ever seen him in those small roles, like playing some henchman who gets killed, like you said.
Yeah, he always plays like some dude that gets. It's supposed to be like, oh, the big guy comes out now. Oh, what are we gonna do now? And then he gets killed.
Yeah. Exactly.
But was he like a MMA guy? Or just kind of just like some guy that likes to work out?
That's a good question. I'm gonna look that up actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought he was like well, he's an actor for sure. I thought he was a stuntman.
I don't think he's MMA.
Actor, stunt performer. Oh yeah, actor, stunt performer, and former mixed martial artist.
Oh, okay, so he did do MMA then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he was in The Mandalorian. I still haven't seen that.
Oh, that's good.
I've heard
I need
that
to finish seeing this.
Everyone.
Yeah, I need to finish season 2.
Yeah, me too. I'm not fully caught up on it.
I want to watch that, and now I want to watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier too.
Mm-hmm.
But I was telling Dusty that Disney Plus got a whole bunch of cool, like actual adult movies. Like, I don't mean like porn or anything like that, but I mean like they're all the Alien movies and all the Predator movies. And I found this show called The Strain, which is co-created by Guillermo del Toro, and it's a show that's based on the trilogy of novels that was co-written by Guillermo del Toro, and it's about a virus that turns people into vampires and turns out to be this much bigger thing. And it's cool because I don't know if have you guys seen House of Cards?
Yeah. Up until it started turning bad.
Yeah, I'm the same. And
the guy in season 1, the alcoholic politician, the bald guy named Peter.
Yes, I remember him.
He's like he's basically the main character in the show. He's like a CD. He's a guy at the CDC, and he ends up being connected to joining this old man who knows how to kill the vampires and has a sword, and he's like this badass old man who kills vampires. And then also the guy who plays Sean Astin, who plays Sam Gamgee in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, he plays a secondary character in it too, and it's a really cool show, and that's on Disney Plus too. And then I also have to watch The Stand that's out now soon too.
Oh, I've watched the first episode of The Stand.
First episode.
I keep forgetting to go back to it. Yeah, it's the first episode was pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Stand, but yeah, Disney Plus has got some. I mean, you can watch every single episode of Simpsons on there. They got all the Fox content too, right? So
I thought they had Family Guy in there too.
Yep.
Yeah, and they got all the Marvel movies and everything else.
We were talking last time about how they finally even have like the R-rated Marvel movies like Deadpool and Logan.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to go through the settings and switch it from like kids to like R-rated, acceptable for ratings in order for all the content to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta try that then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, Disney is really, yeah, they exploded as far as content goes. You know, they started off like it was like a little bit small, and then all of a sudden Mandalorian, and then boom, all of a sudden now they have like everything.
Mm-hmm. It was smart for them to market not just to kids but to adults too.
Yeah, and it kind of release. I think they were the first to release like strictly. I know that they couldn't release anything in theaters due to COVID, but I think Mulan went right into the streaming platform, which, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now they're doing that with like all this stuff. Like Falcon and the Winter Soldier is obviously the show that goes straight to Disney Plus, and then with what is it? Oh yeah, the Black Widow movie, when it comes out, it's going to be on Disney Plus and in theaters. And then there's that Loki show that's going to come out too.
They're gonna have to make it enticing for people to go back into theaters again.
Yeah,
like, if you want to see.
I hope theaters don't die, because I like being able to watch theatrical release movies at home on streaming services, but I also love going to movie theaters.
Yeah, no,
it friggin' sucks when you have kids that are missing out kind of on that theater experience. It's luckily like we only saw like 5 or 6 movies with our daughter before shit hit the fan. I think the last thing we watched before shit hit the fan was Frozen 2, I believe.
Oh, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, kids really lucked out on, and birthday parties. A lot of birthday parties you would have at a movie theater, right? Or kids too, or at least my kids.
Yeah, friggin' sucks. Like no birthday parties. Yeah, it's been.
Oh yeah, I've definitely done that before.
But they're gonna have to do something where if you go to the theater, you see the extended version of John Wick. You know, 20 additional minutes. But if you watch it at home streaming, you just see the regular version or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that would be a good idea.
Something like that.
Because like now that you can offer all those movies and streaming, you know, I don't know, AMC and Cineplex, they're gonna want to be like, hey, wait a minute, you know, how are people gonna want to go back to the theater if you offer all the same movies right to streaming again? Yeah,
yeah, that'd be cool if they make some sort of awesome improvements on theaters to incentivize people to go there more.
I
know theaters, it's all about the concessions. I think that's where they make most of their money.
I usually just like smuggle in my own snacks and bring a water bottle or something.
Oh, my wife's a lunatic. She during COVID, she orders still popcorn and stuff like that for like movies here, and it's like you just blew like $20-$30 on popcorn after delivery from a movie theater.
What? Order popcorn? Why do you need to order popcorn?
Yeah, because movie theater
so easily.
movie theater popcorn tastes different than, I don't know, the stuff that you buy microwaved, I guess.
Well, it's just,
you can make your own popcorn with a hot air popper.
Use a hot air popper, or you could put it in a pot with a lid on it.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of oil, and then you can go to the store and buy. They sell tons of different popcorn seasonings.
I know.
Way more extravagant and cool snacks too, if you wanted to. Also, like nachos with like beef and vegetables and cheese and all sorts of other stuff on there.
Yeah,
because I have this super kick-ass garlic seasoning for my popcorn. I love it.
You guys are making me hungry. I want some movie theater popcorn.
Popcorn is that it's not like that bad for you as long as you don't put a shitload of butter on it.
Yeah, that's how most people do that, especially since the butter at movie theaters tastes really good, but it's not even actually butter. It's like recycled plastic bottles.
It's like butter flavored oil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because butter's way too expensive.
Yep. Real butter would be way better on popcorn anyway.
Yeah, it is. But the only problem about real butter or any of that stuff is that it makes like the popcorn kind of soggy.
Doesn't?
Yeah, it does.
I haven't actually had popcorn in a long time, so I don't know.
Yeah, because the microwave version, it has the kind of the taste, but it's easy to do. That's the good part about it, but it's microwave popcorn.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I've discovered and what I love now instead of microwave popcorn is microwave pig skins.
Microwave pig skins?
Yeah, they come in a package that looks like a microwave popcorn package, but you put it in there and like the pig skins puff up and they're like nice and fresh and hot and crispy.
What are those?
Like bacon?
No, it's pork rinds. You guys don't eat pork rinds in Canada?
Oh, that's what they are. I don't really eat them very much.
No.
Dude, you should. It's a keto snack. There's no carbs in
Bacon's
it.
good too.
There's no carbs in pork rinds.
No carbs in bacon either.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I'm hoping, like, I have some stock in AMC, so I'm hoping the movie business is going to go back to normal. I don't know what the hell's going to happen to the world. The only thing I know is that you're going to need to be vaccinated like every 6 months or something, which is pretty insane.
Yeah. I got my vaccination today, actually.
Yeah, so it's going to be like, and it makes like people are freaking out. They're like, "Oh, this is bullshit. Look at this. They're going to make us vaccinated all the time. It's what about when you get vaccinated for chicken pox? You know, you never get it." And it's like, well, it's like the flu. One vaccine isn't going to give you lifelong immunity. And this is even worse than the flu because it's a cold. So the virus itself is the same virus that infects you when you have a cold. And think of how many colds a person can get in a year, right? So you can't give yourself lifelong immunity to the cold virus. It's just not the way that virus works.
Yeah, no, I got my shot today, and then I go back in August to get my second one, which is totally fine. I do question, like, when the CEO of Pfizer comes out and says, you now need a third and fourth dose. So,
oh, I didn't hear about that.
That makes, and we're AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson, all these other ones, it's like a one-shot deal, and then that's it.
Yeah, I kind of want the Johnson & Johnson one, but I think they put those on hold for a while.
Did they?
Oh, I heard they reinstated them. They did put them on hold, but then they unpaused them again.
Oh, they're back?
Yeah, they're back.
Well, maybe I should try to get a vaccine again then. Maybe I'll be able to get one. Because I don't think I'm not going to get a blood clot and die from it.
No,
so
and the majority of the cases are coming from women with blood clots.
Well, they're women, and it's only, 6 out of 7 million? So
yeah, which is, yeah. That's
I probably have a greater chance of dying in a car accident.
100%. That's like getting struck by lightning statistics. 6 out of 7 million.
So, yeah, I just gotta go and sign up. Oh, we're super off the rails here, aren't we? Off the rails. But
yeah, I got AMC stocks too. I hope that movie theater.
He also bought some.
Yeah, not a lot. I think I got like maybe 5 or 6 or something like that. So
you bought 5 shares?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's way more than me. That's well, 5 shares. Well, that's like $50-$60, right?
Yeah, $50-$60. That's right. Well, when I bought them, they were like I bought them at the really top. I should have bought them
Oh.
on a dip. They were like $13-$14. So yeah, I spent $60-$70 Canadian, but
Oh, I only put like $10 down, so I don't even know if I got a full share.
gotcha.
Because I
Okay.
got some AMC and I got some GameStop.
Oh,
I
nice.
don't play.
I was
some of
late to
that.
the GameStop.
Oh,
But
I made like $25 on the GameStop stock.
nice. Yeah, I got everything
Yeah.
else. I got is like pretty much weed stocks. I'm hoping that you guys decriminalize federally soon, and then
Well, I should. That's a good idea. Maybe I should get some weed stocks.
Yeah, weed stocks. I also got like CommScope, which is a manufacturer of 5G antennas. I'm sure that'll be huge in the next couple of years. So.
Oh, that's smart.
Well, I bought some Pfizer, J&J, and Moderna.
Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah, I got some of them. I got Roblox.
Nice.
What's that?
It's like a video game that went public not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
I bought some. What else do I have? I think I have some Amazon, of course.
Wow, good for you.
Well, it's not a whole lot. It's like a very small portion of a share. Because an Amazon
you don't have
share
a full,
is
it's like
no, I don't have a
$3,000.
full share. Yeah, that's
okay.
$3,000.
Yeah,
Like I have, like the most of my investments are in crypto. The crypto's tanking right now, but it's gonna go back up eventually.
Yeah, no, it is. I actually just bought a whole bunch of crypto because it's on the dip right now. So
yeah, that's a good time to buy right now.
Yeah.
I just have mine set up for recurring payments, but even with that, I'm still ahead by a lot. So, because I think I started buying when it was like at $3,000 a Bitcoin.
Oh wow.
It's so, yeah, I made it ahead like quite a bit, but
yeah, I don't have a
Bitcoin,
lot. I have like 200.
I don't have a whole lot. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot. I think it's like $800 in Bitcoin and other cryptos.
Yeah, like I have 200 in Bitcoin and 200 in Ethereum. Those are my two that I've invested in.
Oh, I have a bunch of little ones. Like whenever a new one comes out, I always buy some in that new coin.
Did you get any Dogecoin?
I do. I do have some Dogecoin. I bought some on Yeah, I don't know. I haven't keeping track of the Dogecoin. I just gotta wait until I see a headline, and then when I see a headline, I sell it.
Yeah, you would have done good last week because I think like somebody was saying if you invested $100 in Dogecoin, you would have had around $600 when it really spiked.
Jesus.
Oh wow.
That's how all the cryptos are like basically. Like even Bitcoin. Like if you pay like, dude, it just fluctuates so wildly. So if you can go at it on the down and put like $100, and then maybe a couple days later, that $100 might be 120.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No, crypto like Bitcoin is fluctuated anywhere between, and this is Canadian dollars, but 45 grand to it was up at 70 grand at one point. So,
wow, holy crap!
Yeah. It fluctuates a lot. Right now is probably a good time to buy.
I should just give you guys some money to invest in stocks for me because I don't do any.
Dude, you could do it yourself.
It's so easy, man. Open up.
Yeah. Just get one of those apps, dude.
Yeah, you just need apps. Yeah, for like get Coinbase for crypto. It's the easiest thing ever. You just link your bank account and you can put like $20 towards it.
I just feel like I'm too poor to risk any money on any of that.
Yeah, I don't risk a lot, man. Honestly, what I do is I take $50 out of every paycheck and it goes towards stocks or crypto. I pick one, whatever's on the dip. That's what I invest in. Just $50.
Yeah,
maybe sometimes
that's
100.
about the same. Yeah, sometimes like I'll do spontaneous. Okay, so I'm set up for reoccurring payments, which means Coinbase automatically takes an amount every 2 weeks from me.
Yeah.
And then I watch also. So if I see a big dip, I'll buy some additional when I see a big dip. And that's not just for Bitcoin. Whenever I see any coins take a really big dip, I'll buy some. And if you start a Coinbase account, you can actually get free crypto.
Yeah, if you refer
So
people. That's right.
I think when you start a Coinbase account, they give you like $10 of Bitcoin or something. And then you can actually, not only can you do that, they have other coins that you can take like these little quizzes, and then they'll give you like $5 or $6 of that coin.
Really?
Only for like starting.
Yeah, but I don't even touch.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even touch any of that. I don't. The only time, I haven't touched any of the money that I put into these things. These are just like rainy day emergency fund type of things that I'm putting away.
Oh, okay.
Because if I could technically put this shit in my bank account, but the bank account doesn't do shit. Like I don't get any interest whatsoever. And so doing it this way, there's a little bit of risk, but if you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy to mitigate the risk. It's not like Bitcoin's going to completely tank or anything like that.
Some people have to.
I know there's been some fluctuations in the past. I don't. Oh no, it's going to go sky high. I think.
Yeah, like some people are saying it's going to be like
$100
grand.
up and up and up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to go up and up and up. And the reason that Bitcoin is going to go up and up and up is because it's a static amount of Bitcoins. They do not produce any more Bitcoins, so it's all based off of how much money is in the market for Bitcoin.
Oh, okay.
I think also people are worried about the inflation.
But yeah, dude, you should just download on your phone. Well, if you're worried about the inflation, then the Bitcoin, I don't know how tied to inflation to the US dollar Bitcoin is, but it all depends on who's buying. How many people are buying and how many people are putting money into it. Because I know when Tesla started pumping a bunch of money into Bitcoin, it just shot up super fast. That's when we got to like, I remember it was like at 20,000, and then like a few weeks later it was almost near 50.
Wow.
Per Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of Coinbase, Coinbase
so
just went.
Download the app Coinbase and just kind of.
And then buy their stock.
Oh yeah, I think I bought some Coinbase stock. I did buy
really?
some.
Nice.
Huh.
Yeah, they just went public.
I bought some Coinbase stock. Yeah, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, let me go buy some Coinbase stock. Yeah, when we're saying buying stock, Andrew, I know it sounds intimidating, but I'm literally buying like $5 in stock and $10 in stock at a time. So it's not like I'm buying a single stock. Like a single stock for Amazon is like $10,000 or $3,000. I'm only buying a very small micro share. That's not even a full share. You can buy shares like fractional shares.
Okay.
And you can.
So I'd recommend it. I'd say check it out.
You could also do where like some shares are less than $1. Like WeedMD is at like $1 a share. You could put just $10 and have 10 shares in WeedMD, right? And if that WeedMD eventually, like Afria, who's another cannabis stock, their stock is worth like $25-$30 right now, right? So if you buy $10 worth of WeedMD at $1 a share, and 2 years from now it goes to $10-$20 a share, then yeah, you've made money. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping for well, yeah, for my shares, because I don't have
another funny thing too is like
Amazon shares or anything.
Yeah, once you're a shareholder, you actually get to go into shareholder meetings and vote on shit.
Yeah, they send you like stuff in the actual mail. It's funny.
Oh wow.
So I'd say just try it out, dude. Like I know you're like wary about investing, but you could literally invest pennies. Like the only thing about what Coinbase though is whenever you make a purchase, there's like a Coinbase fee. So like if you purchase like $10 of Bitcoin, I think they charge you $1. So you end up getting like $9 of Bitcoin instead of 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's
sorry.
an American. I don't know how it is in Canadian.
Weed MD is 30 cents a share right now. So you can buy
Wow.
yeah. And you could also like Ford is $12 a share right now, right? There's some really low shares you could probably invest in just to kind of get your foot in the water.
Okay.
Yeah. A good time to invest too is whenever a company announces that it's going public. That's a really good time to buy some shares.
Yeah, especially like a company like Coinbase. Coinbase is going to be like the Amazon of purchasing digital currency. It's already the most popular app for purchasing digital currency, and yeah, it's because it's the easiest, and I think it's just gonna, I don't know, hopefully go up from there. So, that's gonna be my next investment for me. Is Coinbase.
Yeah, because I use two. One of the other apps is the apps I have Ripple on. It's Coinbase. You can't buy Ripple, and I bought
And
Ripple
Doge,
like a long time ago.
You can't get Doge on Coinbase. There's some currencies that anything that's not really backed by anything, they won't allow on Coinbase.
You can buy Doge on Robinhood though.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, did you, Chris? I know you follow like Michael Malice and what he's on. And did you happen to see Lex Friedman's podcast last night with Michael Malice and Yaron Brook?
Yeah, so I'm about an hour and a half into that podcast right now. So yeah, it's a long one. It's like 4 hours.
4.5 hours long, right? Yeah.
I stopped because you know what else came up that was super interesting that I watched today was Tim Dillon and Jordan Peterson.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, interesting. And just because those guys are like the two complete opposite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny at one point.
I thought of that because there's a part in that episode where Michael Malice and Yaron Brook were debating about Bitcoin, and Michael Malice thinks that Bitcoin is kind of like a libertarian or anarchist thing, and I think Yaron Brook thought that he doesn't think that it is, but he thinks that it could be once the value increases and it overtakes money more than it does now. I think that it's interesting.
What he means by that.
I'm not really sure either. I just think it's interesting that people with really similar political ideologies can disagree about a number of different issues because they have pretty similar worldviews, but they're slightly different because Michael Malice is a full-on anarchist and Yaron Brook is a Randian objectivist, which are pretty similar philosophies but slightly different. And Yaron Brook believes in a small amount of government. I think it's interesting that they can have those different views.
Yeah, well, even on Ayn Rand herself, I mean, Malice is a huge Rand fan, and obviously Brooks he was, or I don't know if he's still the leader of the Ayn Rand Institute, right? So
I think he is.
Is he still? Anyway, they're both
Malice
huge Randian
more like
fans.
a Rothbard fan.
Is he?
Malice?
Yeah, he's more Rothbard.
I've heard him say good things about Ayn Rand, but I've also heard him make fun of her and criticize her too.
Yeah, I've heard him talk about Ayn Rand multiple times. So, but like just on her, right there, here's a figure that you would think that they would have lots of love and in common with, but they have different, like I think Malice thinks that The Fountainhead is better than Atlas Shrugged, and yeah, there was another book that they were talking about, and Malice was like, "I hate that book," and Yaron Brook was like, "I like that book." So yeah, even when you break it down, even on
but
just
Michael
one
Malice
individual,
hates a lot of books.
Yeah, he does.
Like
Yeah,
if you
for sure.
follow him on the Goodreads, like most of his reviews are like 2-star and less.
Gotcha.
Funny. I thought it was interesting too because Yaron Brook actually made one of the most elaborate and convincing cases I've heard against anarchism, because I'm not convinced by anarchism anyway, but that was one of the best. That was one of the he gave one of the best arguments that I've heard against anarchism when he was arguing with Michael Malice about that, I think.
Okay, I gotta hear this eventually, but what was this, a recent podcast or something?
Yeah, they
that's
just did it a
next
couple
year.
days ago.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
It's a slog.
that
It's like
the-
4 hours though.
Yeah.
Oh, I
What?
can speed it up to 2 times or whatever.
Yeah, I definitely was. Yeah, it's interesting to get more into their views, especially like with Michael Malice, because I listen to him a lot, and he says a lot of his like his political beliefs as if they're just inherent truths, and rarely explains them and why he thinks they're inherent truths. So he did.
So he's more of an objectivist then?
I don't think he. I'm pretty sure he said that he doesn't consider himself to be a Randian objectivist.
But he believes in inherent truths.
What?
He believes in inherent truths?
Yeah, he does. And like one of the. I'm getting kind of an echo a little bit. Do you guys hear that?
No, I'm not hearing an echo.
There's a delay on, I think, but
Oh, maybe there's a bit of delay on my end or Dusty's end. But that was what one of the things that I thought was interesting that that Yaron Brook pointed out about Michael Malice's view was that Michael Malice talks about how, you know, an anarchist society would be like, it would be just fine. People wouldn't be getting into violent revolutions or everything. But Yaron Brook was pointing out all of these historical examples where when governments collapsed into anarchy, or when there were anarchist societies, things tended to end just as badly as communist societies did.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too sure what Malice's beliefs are on truth, but I think when it comes to anarchy and him, I mean that's obviously what he believes in. I don't know if it's anarchy like for everything, or if it's just like some kind of anarchy light. But I think sometimes that sounds good on paper and in some kind of weird utopian way, but in reality, I don't think. You know, like for example, you could probably have somebody figure out the roads privately. You could probably get UPS and FedEx together to have some kind of benefit for them to do delivery service on roads. But you know, if you break that down further about like traffic lights or fire and stuff like that, you need some kind of, I don't know, something like a government structure and taxes to kind of maintain all that stuff. So, and then you get
the monkey wrench for a narco-capitalist arguments is, how does a narco-capitalist deal with monopolies? They can't.
They're fine.
They're fine? Is that what they say?
It's someone doing the noble pursuit of pursuing self-interest and greed. And
yeah, but a monopoly, if a monopoly holds enough power, it's no longer an anarchist system. They're the ones that are basically governing.
They are.
Yeah. So if someone has a monopoly on car manufacturing, then your freedom of choice is zero.
That's a good point. Yep.
Yeah.
And you got to kowtow to whatever that monopoly wants. So it does not solve the ability for companies to compete, because there's nothing there to stop them from monopolizing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost as if we need a monopoly with limitations, which I know sounds like an oxymoron, but there's something to when these institutions get kind of too big, like an Amazon or a Google, where they do have a control over everything, and then your choice as a consumer gets kind of, I don't know, watered down, and obviously if these companies get too big, then there's a huge amount of power that comes with that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've seen that a lot recently with social media companies, of course, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like what if you have something as simple as an energy cartel that owns all the energy production? Like imagine how much power that they can leverage because of what they monopolize. It would be almost worse than a government if they control all the power, or a monopoly that controls both power and water. That would be pretty shitty. That would basically be like any communist country that I could think about.
Yeah. I think that's
kind of what it would eventually become. That's what I kind of think what would happen in the end.
Yeah. That reminds me too, because like in terms of government, like Michael Malice talks about cops a lot in terms of that, and how they're like a monopolized use of force, and that this kind of standard libertarian, or especially anarcho-capitalist argument that taxation is theft, and if there's a law of something, the penalty for it has always got to be throwing you in a cage or threatening you at gunpoint, whereas with many crimes that is not the punishment, like a fine or something like that, or a community service. Like, it's not as if every time you commit a crime the government holds a gun to your head and locks you in a cage. There are other things that happen depending on the severity of the crime.
Well, the government or police don't monopolize the use of force.
No, they don't.
You can protect yourself. Yeah, you can protect yourself, shoot somebody and kill someone, and you'll be scot-free as long as it's seen as self-defense. Or you could even defend the life of somebody else and get scot-free.
Yep.
So that's not really something in America at this point in time. There is no police monopoly on the use of force.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you here in Canada, we don't really have an option to. Well, I mean, we have knives and stuff like that, and you could get a gun, but most people have a gun license if you're a hunter or whatever. It's not like I can own a handgun here, whereas in the States you do have 2A rights, right? So it's a little bit different than when it comes to policing, I would think.
Yeah.
As far as
there are way more guns in the U.S. than in Canada, right? Like,
yeah, for sure. There's more guns than people, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. And there's
you can go to a Walmart and buy a shotgun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whereas you go to Walmart here and there's nothing. There's no bullets. There's nothing.
Yeah. You can buy a paintball gun.
You can buy a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
But I think that has some, like, it's different. I think, like, it would be easier to have an anarchist kind of police system in the United States where you could arm yourself or create a community of people to arm themselves to protect. Whereas here in Canada, we need a police force, essentially, or a state to represent our safety. Obviously, that's a vague statement. I'm saying it's different if you're living in a rural area versus a, highly populated area. But yeah, for the most part, our cops here do all the defending and, carry the guns for us because we have strict guns laws. I'm not really a gun guy. I'm not saying that, that's a good or bad thing, but it could be debated, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. I've never fired
a gun. I don't think I
don't need to own I don't need to even own a gun. That's more of like Dusty, you and I talked about this when we talked about when we talked about Bowling for Columbine on your channel, about how it seems like the main reason that Michael Moore concludes is behind the Columbine shooting and the way the extremely massive number of mass shootings in the U.S. and other countries is mainly due to gun culture and like this American praising of gun rights and solving problems with violence and shooting people and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's deeply ingrained within this culture. Like it's a multi-tiered problem, you know. I don't know how many problems you have with like drug gangs. I know there's a lot of suicides by gun here in the United States. I don't know if that's something you have an issue with in Canada, so to speak.
I don't know.
Like suicide by gun. Most of the deaths that are gun deaths, I think, are actually suicide by gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up. In Canada, about 80% of firearm-related deaths are suicides.
Yeah. I think it's a high percentage as well in the United States. Probably not as high as in Canada, but pretty high. It's just that Americans like to shoot other people a lot, I guess.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up suicide by gun in U.S. 60%.
Yeah, so it's a majority chunk.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of suicide by gun here.
Yeah. Well, given the number of gun deaths, it says like 39,740 deaths from firearms in the U.S. in 2018.
So, yeah, so at least half of those are suicides.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you see that the U.S. has a problem if it's 60 versus 80. So there's another 20% here that's used to kill other people for whatever reason.
How many gun deaths are there in John Wick? About 100
I don't know.
or so.
We can't also just think about gun deaths too, because there's also the people who get shot but survive. And I think the rate of survival from gunshot is higher than the death rate.
Really?
Yeah, people survive gunshots all the time.
Oh, okay. Not John Wick gunshots.
Yeah, it's not like the movies where you get shot and you die immediately.
Sometimes John Wick does double tap headshots. I doubt you can survive that. Is it in the second one? There's a cool scene. I think it's in the second one. It's kind of unrealistic because I'm not sure if guns would fire that well underwater. But they like fall out of he falls out of a building along with a guy that he's fighting into a pool, and then he shoots him twice in the head underwater.
I don't remember that at all.
That must be maybe that's in the third one.
I think that's in the third one.
Is it at the start of the second one? Is it the start of the second one where he kills a guy with a giant book at the start of it in the library?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember either, dude.
We'll have to find out. when we talk about that one. I love all the like creative ways that he kills people sometimes, and the different objects that he kills people with. The more variety there is, the more movies there are, I think.
Yeah, true.
Yes. Well, here's an interesting statistic. If you've been shot, 95% of the people whose hearts are still beating by the time they get to the hospital survive.
Oh wow!
Let me see. And that depends on what type of bullet you get shot from, too.
Well, I guess gunfights are probably pretty fucking messy.
Yep.
Yeah, it depends on whether the bullet bounces around or if it just goes straight through.
Yeah.
You can get shot and it could bounce off, ricochet in a bone, and then go through your body in a different direction.
If most gun crime is like drug dealers killing each other, and maybe like, just to guess, it's like high drug dealers who don't have that much experience with firing weapons properly, I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I still wouldn't want to get shot.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Doesn't sound fun.
No.
For some reason, women have a higher chance of survival when they get shot.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's because women can lose a lot more blood than men, though, isn't that right? Like, because this goes with birthing a baby.
Really? Oh yeah,
yeah,
maybe like menstruation.
Though they have a higher hemoglobin count or whatever they call it, that they can lose. Like if a man gets shot and he can bleed out quicker than a woman or something.
Okay. I didn't know that.
But that's because women are used to, menstruating and giving birth. Their bodies are used to losing and gaining blood all the time. So.
Okay.
I think I heard that somewhere on a podcast. I forget where though.
If there were all women gunfights, would they be way more violent and bloody?
Yeah, who knows? The UFC women's, though, it looks like it's like the new thing now. I don't know if you guys did you guys watch the fight at all last night?
No, I didn't.
No.
All right, so the survival rate, I found some interesting statistics here. So if you get shot in the heart or the brain, you have a 9% survival rate. If you are
9%?
9%. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, your survival rate is 80 to 95%. And if you get to the hospital while your heart's still beating, it's 95%.
Wow.
So it sounds like it's about 80%. So if you think about like gunshot deaths in the United States, multiply that by 4, and that's basically how many people are getting shot in the U.S.
Holy fuck, man.
Yeah.
You guys should like follow Canada's suit and legalize weed and calm the fuck down.
I'm sure it's gonna probably come soon. We just need to we need to legalize all drugs and then figure out why crazy people like to shoot up their workplaces and schools.
Yeah. Decriminalize all non-violent drug offenses.
Yes.
I think handguns should be a bit more difficult to obtain. I don't even see the reason to have a handgun as home defense, because you use long guns to do that. The only reason to have a handgun is to conceal a weapon. That's the only reason. Like, I can't think of a good reason other than to have a portable, concealable weapon.
I need it for my self-defense because
the-
someone will shoot me on the street otherwise.
Well, to be honest, I don't think the whole rifle thing is such a big deal. It's pretty much the handguns are the ones that are killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, aren't most gun deaths from handguns?
I believe so. I believe most gun deaths are handgun deaths.
Yeah.
I also think it's a little bit more difficult to kill yourself with a shotgun because you got to rig some type of remote or like mechanical device to kill yourself with, or you could do it the Cobain style. I guess use your toe or whatever.
That's how he did it?
I believe so.
How did
He used
how
a
did
shotgun to kill himself.
Allegedly. Didn't Courtney
allegedly?
Didn't Courtney
that's
Love do
right.
an investigation and he was on so much heroin that he wasn't, like I don't know. He couldn't pick up nobody could pick up a gun with the amount of heroin that was in his system at the time.
Nobody other
Yeah,
than him.
who knows really? Because we know that George Floyd can hop around like a maniac with lethal heroin in his body. So I don't exactly buy that argument.
Yeah. Well, I think
Because George Floyd had a lot of drugs in him.
Yeah.
And if you saw any of the video footage of him inside the store, it's like he was hopping around like kind of a weird, crazy person in there. He wasn't being like threatening to anybody, but you could tell he was hopped up on something.
Okay.
What are you looking at, Andrew? You're making a face.
I'm looking up Kurt Cobain's death.
How did he die?
Shotgun to the head.
Shotgun death. I thought it was a different cause of death at first, but I didn't read the whole thing because there's a Wikipedia page about how he overdosed on champagne and Rohypnol. But he obviously must have survived that.
No, he blasted himself in the head with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering too because Ernest Hemingway killed himself with a shotgun, didn't he?
I have no idea how he killed himself. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that he killed himself.
I thought he had.
I don't doubt you. I just didn't know that he killed himself.
Suicide. A lot of artists get way too depressed.
Yeah, like what's his name? Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah. How did he die? Did he commit suicide?
I think he took a rowboat in the middle of a river and then shot himself.
Okay. Oh, Ernest Hemingway killed himself with a Civil War pistol.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Now we're researching famous suicides for some reason.
That's quite the way to go, though. Like
How'd you guys take that? I don't know if you know who this rapper is, but Shock G died.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one. I heard about DMX.
Oh yeah, DMX died, but Shock G died recently.
Oh, okay.
Shock G's alternate personality is Humpty Hump.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Like from Public Enemy?
Digital Underground.
Digital Underground.
The reason it's significant is because Tupac was part of Digital Underground. So Shock G basically discovered Tupac.
Gotcha.
Oh, I didn't know that.
AKA Machiavelli.
Never mind. Hunter S. Thompson shot himself in his home. I don't know where I heard that. I thought he had a robot. I think he contemplating shooting himself in the river, but I think he...
Yeah, he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in his home.
At the age of 67. I think it was because he had cancer diagnosis, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. I think he had a cancer diagnosis. So I think that was he didn't want to go out like that, so he shot himself. I'm not completely certain, but I think that was the case. I can look into it real quick. Hunter S. Thompson.
I'm going to go to the Wikipedia page.
Hunter S. Thompson I always loved. Like, I always like going back and seeing his appearance on, like, late night talk shows.
Yeah.
He's such a weirdo.
Yeah, he really is.
And then there was this one funny bit that you got to look this up. Conan O'Brien went to Hunter S. Thompson's home to talk about guns. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah. All I see here is Thompson died by suicide at the age of 67 following a series of health problems. In accordance with his wishes, his ashes were fired out of a cannon. In a ceremony funded by his friend Johnny Depp. And attended by friends including then Senator John Kerry and Jack Nicholson.
Well, apparently he shot himself because he's having a bunch of medical issues. He had depression, and he was getting concerned about getting old. And he had some chronic medical problems and a hip replacement.
Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, I'm going to read this paragraph here. This is interesting. At 5:42 p.m. on February 20th, 2005, Thompson died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head at Owl Farm, his fortified compound in Woody Creek, Colorado. His son, Juan, daughter-in-law, Jennifer, and grandson were visiting for the weekend. His wife, Anita, who was at the Aspen Club, was on the phone with him as he cocked the gun. According to the Aspen Daily News, Thompson asked her to come home to help him write his ESPN column, then set the receiver on the counter. Anita said she mistook the cocking of the gun for the sound of his typewriter keys and hung up as he fired. Will and Jennifer were in the next room when they heard the gunshot, but mistook the sound for a book falling and did not check on Thompson immediately. Juan Thompson found his father's body, according to the police report and Anita's cell phone records. He called the sheriff's office half an hour later, then walked outside and fired 3 shotgun blasts into the air to mark the passing of his father. The police report stated that in Thompson's typewriter was a piece of paper with the date February 22nd, 05 and a single word, counselor. Oh, years of alcohol and cocaine abuse contributed to his problem with depression. Wow, probably he did tons of drugs all the time.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Drugs are good in moderation. And if you don't mix a whole bunch of fucking ones that should not be mixed all the time.
Oh, that's for sure, yeah. Juan Thompson. I didn't know he had kids.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I'm guessing his wife was Hispanic, maybe.
It sounds like she was.
Let's see.
I don't see her last name here.
Anita Thompson. She has. Oh, she wrote some books, apparently.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, she's really young.
Oh, this is interesting. The Rolling Stone published what Doug Brinkley described as a suicide note written by Thompson to his wife titled, "Football season is over." It read, "No more games, no more bombs, no more walking, no more fun, no more swimming. 67. That is 17 years past 50. 17 more than I needed or wanted. Boring. I am always bitchy. No fun for anybody. 67. You are getting greedy. Act your age. Relax. This won't hurt. Damn, that's
Yeah,
depressing.
this picture is kind of creepy. No, I found a picture of Hunter S. Thompson with his wife. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, that's like a 40-year age gap there.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's, well, in the picture, she looks like in his third, it looks gross. It's like, looks like that could be either his daughter or his granddaughter. It's not a good look.
Okay. Now I have to look that up too.
Yeah, there's a picture of them together.
Oh wow.
I'm like, huh.
Pulled a Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
What did Lionel Richie do?
He's like 70, and the girl he just married or something like that is like 29 or 30.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's like a 40 age difference.
Well, it's probably digging for that gold.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
What's that? Was she like his daughter's age or something?
I bet.
Yeah, I forget.
Maybe I think Nicole Richie's might be even older.
I think it's Lionel Richie. Now I gotta look this up to make sure I'm not lying to you guys.
Is that the picture you were looking at, Desi?
Yeah, not that one, but the one where she's wearing the blue shirt.
Oh, is it this one?
Yeah, that looks, as he looks like really old there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it doesn't quite look right.
Yeah.
Something just looks a little off there.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't. Oh yeah.
What?
I'm sorry. I was looking up the Lionel Richie things.
Oh. Is that how old his wife is?
Yeah, so Richie's 31 and she's 30. So, or sorry, Richie's 71 and she's 30.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
So yeah.
I mean, that's a complicated thing too. Like, I've noticed, like, now that I'm in my 30s and not in my 20s anymore, there can be like a huge age difference between the women that I date. Like, one could be in their 20s, one could be in their 30s, one could be in their 40s. Doesn't matter as much, but even for me, it feels like kind of creepy even to date like a 20-year-old or some shit like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, but would you date a woman in her 70s?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You ageist.
Or 60s. What about
I don't know.
60s?
I mean, I would maybe be a gold digger too. I mean, I don't know. How old is Pamela Anderson? She's probably in her 50s, right? I'd be okay with that.
Isn't Donald Trump Jr. doing something like that? Isn't his girlfriend older than him?
Is he?
I don't think so.
Is he?
Pam Anderson's only 53.
That's not bad. J-Lo's around that age, and she's hotter than her now, I would say. She's aged well, more better.
Well, I know he was married. Donald Trump Jr. was married and he got divorced, right?
Yeah, that's right. And now he's dating that crazy girl, like that girl.
Kimberly Guilfoyle?
Yeah, she's the one that opened up the. Remember, she did that crazy, like, you know, I forget what she said, but anyway, she started off I think it was the RNC with this crazy speech.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Doesn't it say?
I know who you're talking about.
Oh, okay. So yeah, she's 52 and he's
she's 52
and he's 40. So
that's not that much of a difference.
No, it's not. I thought she was like. I thought she looks older than that.
It's like 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's past childbearing age.
I've dated chicks where there's that much of an age difference in both directions.
Yeah,
But
I
not
guess
seriously though. There's a this is a serious relationship though, because it's completely public.
True.
yeah, I mean, I don't
Like
know.
when you say date, are you just talking about like hookups, or are you talking about, you know what I mean?
Mostly just that.
Yeah, it's not really serious until you meet the parents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Kimberly
yeah, that hasn't
Guilfoyle.
happened very much. Women only
Well,
like me for my
she
body,
doesn't
man.
look bad.
I'm just an object.
Yeah, there's those relationships though where like
She
there's
was
like
married
10,
to
20.
Gavin Newsom.
Oh yeah.
Was she really?
She's like, yeah, so she's
She
kind of
likes
like a
those politicians'
political
families, doesn't she?
gold. Yeah. Well, she went
Oh
from
yeah,
like
she
a
was.
super liberal to a conservative.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
She's not even that hot.
No.
Like you
Yeah,
would think
that's
like
weird.
Donald Trump Jr. would have. I don't know.
There's so many like fucking Uber Trump fan chicks that would probably bang him, I bet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. He's not.
Maybe
I
she
don't think
did
he's
it
with. I don't think he's with Kimberly Guilfoyle
she
because
was
she's like an
married to
intelligent.
Gavin Newsom.
What about her?
I was saying that I don't think he's married to her because she's like.
Maybe he's doing it just because. Well, maybe he's just doing it to spite Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although his last, I'm just
But they
looking up his
weren't
last
married
wife
for very
here.
long, apparently.
No? How long?
It's 3 years. Looks like.
They're only married
Oh.
for 5. But yeah, so they got married in 2001, and the divorce was finalized in 2006.
Oh, so 5
But
years.
she also married somebody after that. Yeah, so it wasn't from Newsom to Donald Trump Jr. There were like in between relationships there. And she
Okay.
had a kid with some other guy in between Newsom and Trump Jr. So she's been married twice so far.
Okay.
And she filed a divorce 3 months before getting with no. 3 months. Donald Trump Jr. filed for a divorce 3 months before getting with Guilfoyle.
Ah. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
That sounds like a movie. Getting with Guilfoyle.
it does.
Mhm. So apparently Guilfoyle has a bunch of money because they jointly purchased a $9.7 million home.
Wow. Yep. Of
Well,
course
she
you wanna get
divorced
around
like 2 rich people, I think.
Oh, of course. That's a big racket.
Yeah, she divorced 2 rich people, so she probably got that rich half of money. You know, you get
Right.
when you divorce people.
Yeah.
Right.
Look
I
at
don't know.
Bezos' wife.
Let me see what her. Well, she
Jeff
was a
Bezos'
lawyer,
wife.
but she only worked as a prosecutor. Oh,
Yeah, Jeff
Bezos'
Bezos.
wife is freaking rich as hell.
Yeah, she became like the third most richest person in the world just by divorcing him or something like that, didn't
Yeah, something like that, right?
she? Yeah.
Oh, what? It's freaking Tesla, man, is the richest now.
Was he?
Elon Musk?
And that's because, yeah, Elon Musk is the richest person in the world.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not Jeff Bezos anymore. Even though everyone wants to attack Jeff Bezos, he's not the richest man in the world anymore. It is Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, who's going on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, he
soon.
surpassed Bezos with Elon Musk.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Elon. Unless Elon's stock went down again.
Are
This
they
is the old. Am I right or am I wrong here?
I don't know. They're probably so close.
Musk is now the richest person.
Yeah, they're probably so close that a matter of millions in difference, depending on what their stock is, one day would move each other. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Tesla stock is like $700.
Musk is number 2 now.
Okay. It says apparently Jeff Bezos is the richest.
Oh, he went back up again?
Yeah, 182 billion.
Because look at Elon Musk shot up the list because he's worth 151 billion. He was not worth that. I think he was worth like 30 billion not too long ago. As I know, the Tesla stock went up like 700% in the span of a couple days.
Yeah,
which made him rich.
Yeah, their stock can fluctuate.
But
like
the reason
30%
they're rich is mostly, the richness of these people is mostly dependent on the stock that they own.
That makes sense.
So they're not actually, they're not liquid assets.
Right.
So like if you take a look at Jeff Bezos, his net worth is 177 billion, but his ownership stake in Amazon is 174 billion. So most of that is just his ownership of stock. So he's only working with like $3 billion.
Oh,
to be honest. Guy. Yeah. So a lot of their worth is based off of how much stock they own.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Elon Musk has more liquid assets than Jeff Bezos. So Elon Musk is worth 151 billion, but his ownership stake is 115 billion.
Okay.
So most of Bezos's wealth is just his stock ownership.
Yeah, their wealth as of right now is there's only a difference of like less than 30 billion between the two of them. Not in terms of their liquid assets, though, obviously.
Like, doesn't 177 or 150 billion, doesn't that cure like all like poverty in the world?
Maybe.
Yeah, but if the 151 billion, I don't think so. I think one of the experiments I did was what would happen if you take the richest man's money and divide it amongst the people. And I think, from what I remember, personally, it would be. So let's take it. It's how many billions of people we got? We got what? 7?
7 billion.
7 billion.
Yes.
All right. So 7 billion people, right? And it also depends on where you live, because the amount of money you receive can make you rich in one part of the world, and another part of the world is just like partial, like maybe a quarter of your yearly salary, or even less.
Mm-hmm.
So let me check, because I know in America, if you get like $10,000 is not a whole lot. If that's just what it's not really that much. Like $10,000. If you got $10,000 right now, that does not set you up for life.
No, it sure doesn't.
No,
not even $1 million would set you up for life anymore. I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. Well, it would set you up, so at least you have money to buy a home, But $10,000 is like maybe a down payment.
Yeah.
It's not going to buy you a home.
No.
All right, so let's take it's 177 million for Bezos, and then we're going to divide that by 7 million. I'm sorry, 7 billion.
I mean, billion.
Crap.
Yeah.
So let me put all these zeros in here. Da, 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 da. Shoot. So
13
100,000. How many
cents.
zeros?
I have no idea.
So this is 100, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 70 million, 700. Okay.
$1 million.
That's barely 1 billion. So I need to add 2 more zeros, I think. Okay, let me try.
$1 million.
So 100, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000.
100 million, cajillion, $1 billion.
10 million, 100 million, 1 billion, 10 billion. I need to add one more zero. Divided by 7 billion, so that's 7, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Is that 9 zeros?
700,000. Okay, I'm at 70,000, 700,000, 7 million, 70 million, 7 billion. Well, after 70 million is 700 million, and then 7 billion. Okay, so what does that make? It's not that much.
Can it buy sharks with freaking lasers on their freaking head?
Let me try this again because I don't know if I have the numbers right. It's throwing me $25. Let me.
$25? That would
Yeah,
not be
that's
much.
not a whole
Yeah,
lot.
that would not cure world hunger.
No. Well, yeah, that's not enough to cure world hunger. It's $25. Once, that is not enough. I think okay, this is what I remember I did this calculation before. The calculation is if you took all the money in the world and divided it equally, you'd get 10,000 apiece.
Oh, okay.
So what that would mean, I would become poorer if that happened.
So, a communist society would not work, unsurprisingly.
Well, I would become poor if my money was taken and I was given $10,000. Yeah, I'd be poor.
Yeah, but that's you giving up all your money back into the pot. We're just taking strictly Bezos' money and then dividing it amongst a population that would need it the most. And you could probably write out all Western countries, Canada, US, and Australia and UK as majority of their populations. They don't need the money at all. Like I wouldn't need any of that money because I have a roof over my head. But if you had millions of people in India and Africa that needed that $155 billion, I'm sure they would. It would be like $100,000 or something like that to them, which would get them out of
probably
poverty.
not because Europe is what 900 million people.
Mm-hmm.
United States is 350, and what are you guys?
We're like 30.
30.
We're like the same as California.
Yeah.
So you would just knock off $1 billion, so it'd be 6 billion instead of 7. I don't think it'll make a significant difference.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, because
Japan's got another million in there, I'm sure.
Oh, you're trying to squeak all the rich countries and see.
Well, if we're trying to, it would be a start at least. I would think. Like even like 10 grand to somebody in India who makes $1 a day. That's huge to them, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I think everyone who makes the argument that this only rich people, and when I say rich, we're talking about like uber rich. Mm-hmm. I'm saying those people that say. And we're talking about probably college-educated people who have good jobs.
Yeah, they classify as rich.
Say that. Right. Yeah. So, do they also would they take a 10% pay cut or whatever to give the rest of the world their money? Like, it's always for others, but not themselves that they institute that. Like, I wouldn't if they advocate for some type of graduated world tax system. Whatever,
Yeah.
But
no, I'm just.
taking Bezos' money and giving it to the rest of the world, I'm not sure that would end poverty nor cure hunger.
That's good to know. All of this is just making
there's no infrastructure. Well, it's like how, like, you can give all the money, but what happens when you go into like these countries with weak governments? Like, how are you going to distribute that? How are you going to keep warlords from swooping in and try to steal everybody else's stuff?
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty complicated.
No shit, man.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like, yeah. It would be a really hard thing to pull off, even if we could do it. You know, yeah.
Definitely.
There's a lot of corruption there, and who's going to deliver checks to people in Papua New Guinea, right? And what are they going to do with those checks? They probably don't even have a currency, right? So, and they're probably, to be honest, they're probably twice as happy as we are in the Western world by having their hut and fucking community of tribesmen and 150 people that live amongst them, and you know what I mean?
They're not getting all stressed out about what some dumbass said on Twitter all day.
Yeah, they can hunt for their own food and shit like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought those arguments were weird. I say, yeah, I understand the reason. Like, I understand our tax system in the U.S. is bullshit. Because in the U.S., most of the tax revenue comes from normal ass people. Rich people, they somehow get out of being taxed, and
they can afford to pay accountants to find financial loopholes.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, they need to be able to shut down offshore tax havens. I know that I think they're trying to do something about that, but that's what it is mostly. People, like rich people, putting their shit in offshore banks so that they can hide their stuff from the tax man.
Yep.
The tax man.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right, dude, I gotta get going
tangents,
soon.
Man.
Yeah. Like half of this chat was tangents, but that's fun.
I thought this was a John Wick chat. What the hell were we?
Yeah.
We're like on John Wick for like 10 minutes, and then boom, we get into all these other topics.
Yeah, I know. This episode should just be called Nerd Tangents.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll end it here then. If you gotta go, I should get going too. And we've talked about enough tangents as well. So
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks guys for talking again. And like I was saying to you before, for the next movie chat in belated honor of 420, we should talk about Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. So we should talk about that in I don't know, maybe 3 weeks to a month or so as usual, if that's cool with you guys.
Yep.
And thanks to everyone for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed us talking about John Wick and all these other tangents we went on as well. And look forward to that next movie chat. And I also put out a new video in my History of Sexuality series that I'm doing yesterday by Michel Foucault on how sex is a weapon of power, and got lots more videos on other books coming up on book series that I'm doing, and more movie chats. And I believe next week, you and Tristram and I are probably talking about the Blade itself. I think probably, right, Dusty?
Yeah. Let him know, because he wasn't sure what the schedule was going to be on that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
He was asking about it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure. Go ahead."
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, so we'll talk
Logan
week.
next week.
Yeah, and on your channel, Woke Centrist, we'll talk about Logan. And yeah, got lots of other stuff coming up too. Also, sometime in the near future, we're going to start going through the Dark Tower series by Stephen King with Parker. That'll be fun. And yeah, so thanks everyone again for watching. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Click that bell to be notified when I come out with new videos, and give me money on Patreon if you want. That would be awesome. Put the link in the description for this video, as I always do. And as I always say, I love you all. Keep being the tiny beam of light that shines through the almost impenetrable darkness in the universe. And most importantly, always remember this: the funk cures all, and groove is in the heart. And John Wick is awesome. Watch it. All right. And anything else you guys want to say before we end it there?
Epstein didn't kill himself.
No, he didn't. All right. And yeah, check out the Logan chat on Dusty's channel next Saturday. All right.
Next Saturday, Logan.
Yes, that would be awesome. All right. Thanks again, everyone, and adios until